because I know a lot of people can't make it. So recording's on. So welcome everybody. We just want to do a really quick recap of the epic event. It was epic. You know, where our company is getting more mature, if that's maturer, and growing and learning. And every event seems to get better than the other. They just keep adding a lot more detail and getting it much more effective and useful for all of us in so many different ways. And we just wanted to take some time to just sort of recap everything that went on and let some people that were there share some of their takeaways, because it was interesting. Brian kind of started the meeting with saying things that, you know, if something, not to start a negative, but if something could be misunderstood, it will be misunderstood. And he was making the point with the story that if there's 1,000 people in the room, then there's like 1,000 different conferences going on. So everyone's going to resonate with one thing that's different, one little nugget that could transform their business. I know for me, there was a couple big takeaways that were really, really impactful for me, and just how to be a better prover, how to be a better supporter of my customers, how to be a better leader with the team, and just really being of service and helping, you know, being like having a culture of service, which I haven't been doing enough of, and as much as I'd like to. So that was like a really big takeaway for me. And we had, oh my God, I was making notes of all the people that were there and all the speakers. They had, when we first started, they had a panel of all the doctors, all the thought leaders in the industry. There's Dr. Mary Newport, Dr. Dom D'Agostino, and Dr. Andrea Capitelli, Dr. Jacob Wilson, Ryan Lowry was there, Dr. Ford, who's like, he's not a NASA engineer, but Jody or Joanne or Nat, you guys can weigh in what exactly his title is. But it was fascinating what some of the research is and what some of the studies. A lot of that's going to be coming on the Facebook Lives over the next little while. And then they had a panel of all the leaders of when this company first started. So almost 2 years ago, actually it was almost 2 years to the day, I think they said, there was a meeting in Newport Beach in California. 15 people there. And some of the people that were there,
no.
Brian James, Michael Rutherford, Abigail Klutz, they all came up on stage and kind of shared what they saw, the vision, you know, what it meant for their lives to see the same vision that Brian Underwood did and where he wanted to go. So it was pretty fascinating on that. Like Tony Freeman was there, the X-Man, the big bodybuilder. And we had it was really great to hear from all of them and hear about the testing that was going on. Joseph McLennan III was there again. He's really aligned with our company. He's kind of the mentor of the company. So he came out a few times, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He came out and really, just really shared his vision. And every time you hear him speak, you take away something that really is transformative for me. And he's going to be an integral part of the MORE event that's coming up at the end of March. Patrick Sweeney was there. Like, he was a fascinating story about his battling with cancer, and he was in the time trials and world champion for rowing, and just how he's really transformed his life from that to dealing with adversity, and how to really gave us some really great exercises on how to deal with fear and how to take that fear from paralyzing you. Because what are the three things that you can do with fear, right? You can freeze. What are the three things? Freeze.
Fight, flight, or freeze.
Oh, Carol, you there?
I am. I'm here.
Awesome.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. It occurred to me, I got a new Mac notebook for Christmas, and I haven't yet downloaded Zoom on it, apparently, although I thought I had. So apologies, people. It's on my phone, which tells me we need to do more Zoom calls.
There you go. That's so true. So Patrick Sweeney was fabulous. Like a big takeaway for me was, this, how did this, as a a 4-series exercise, and we can get, this is all going to be high level. We can get into a lot more detail as we go. And I think Patrick Sweeney is going to be doing some live Facebook feeds this week as well. But, you know, it's how to take when you're paralyzed with fear and how to turn that around into fuel and what that can mean for your business and your life. And Nat and I were having a quick, Nat Nidham and I were having a quick chat where I've been taking that not from fear, but not just with fear, but you can transform that into anything to turn that into a fuel, you know, like what Jody, you were saying, like just putting out fires and some of the frustrations we had with the shipping. You know, I was doing that. I was going through some of the exercises and turning that into a fuel. Okay, let's regroup and kind of recreate what we want out of it. Scott Anderson was a keynote speaker, and he was probably one of the most interesting speakers I've ever heard. He's got the book. Sorry, I was just looking at the chats that some people had done. He had written a book about being a rhino or a cow. I think it's called Rhinoceros Success. Again, he's going to be doing some live Facebook feeds. Like, it was so powerful, some of the takeaways that we had from these speakers. Derek Anderson, NBA star. Who else was there? We did skills training. Natalie Kilborn and Michael Rutherford did some great training on going through the watch, listen, enroll. Watch, experience, enroll. What we can do with how to intrigue people, how to get them engaged with somebody with one of the tools, and how to enroll them into a 5-day experience or to a customer. And then some social media training and some of the onboarding people, how to get new promoters started. Nick Martinez did a fantastic job. We were entertained by one of Brian's friends, Coffee. He's a musician, but he's like more than a musician. Like, he's a powerful person. Just his ability to engage and inspire and take his upbringing and just love on people. Like, it was just beautiful all around. So all of this was just, you know, the amount of personal development, business development, industry development, it all just really layered together. And what I found was just so cohesive in having it all come together, so that I left so lit up, so inspired, and really so confident in my ability to be a great support for customers, to be a great servant leader to the team. And I'm excited. So I want to pass this on. Carol, do you want to add anything to that first? And I think your microphone's off, so just turn that on before you start sharing.
Actually, that's what I was going to say to everybody. If you don't mind muting yourself, in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see a microphone. So if everyone could mute themselves and their background noise won't come through. Thanks, Jackie, for that, because Jackie just texted me. I think some of the background noise was coming through because we all have lives and people around us scattering. Even though we know this is all we do, not everybody else does. So yeah, I fully agree with Janice. You know, this was a different meeting for me. I just, you know, here I am on the tennis court today, and I'm like, oh, prove it. Like, every time I had a good shot in my mind, fortunately, so no one thought I was a psychonaut. Amazing, just the energy that we all felt and where we're going with this thing. This thing's exploding. Understand this, take this to the bank. You are in the right place at the right time. What you choose to do with it is entirely up to you. We're all on different journeys. We're all different people. We all have different time and availability during the day and different dreams. I can tell you I'm dreaming very, very big and even bigger after this event because of the possibilities of what is. And we are seeing people, and there's only a handful. I mean, our team is we're probably like top 30 in between Canada and the US in terms of numbers of people. That's how early we are, you guys. So if you project this out, we're getting ready to ship product to Australia February 6th. That's pretty exciting. So that country is just on the cusp of opening. And one thing for sure, and one of the big takeaways for me was just how enormous this is. I mean, we can obviously not make any medical claims. We can only talk about a wellness supplement and read the back. If you're kind of fearful of weeks, what can I say? Just read the box. I mean, that's your fat loss, your increase in energy and focus. Those things are all absolutely fine because you're not claiming, we're great in diabetes or we're curing Parkinson's or anything like that. But what we heard were just testimonial after testimonial. So I actually reached out to my sister today, and my niece, who is in her mid-20s, since the age of 2, has suffered severe seizures and had over 100 seizures a day. So she's really, her brain's been compromised, as you can well imagine. And somebody stood up at that conference and told my sister's story. I couldn't even believe it. It was like, even to the point that their 4-year-old was sleeping between them because she was having 100 seizures a night. That was my sister's story. And here we have a product that within 1 day of taking it, that 4-year-old didn't have any seizures for like a week. And then she had 1 seizure. So I'm texting my sister saying, look, I'm not saying this is curing anything, but if you Google ketones and seizures and epilepsy, things will come up, and we happen to have an exogenous ketone. And she said, I know, I've been watching, I'm all over it. We tried a ketogenic diet, really hard to get her into that state, but I'm going to order some for her and get some for her. Okay, let's talk. And it was really the conference that prompted me to do it, because until then, it was always in the back of my mind. I mean, my goodness, this is what we started from, right? It was all about seizuring in those Navy SEALs. And that's what led us to a keto powder. And yet in my own family, I've got that, and I was reluctant to reach out, just kind of going, I'm not sure, I don't want to make a false promise and blah, blah, blah. After hearing this story, I'm like, are you kidding me? That was my sister's life, only for 22 years. And a very brain damaged daughter because of it. So what we have in front of us is enormous. There's no debating that. It just is. Mm-hmm. And now we get to share it with the world, and we share it. There's no other way to share this, you guys, than quickly. And if you're on this call, every single person on this call has the ability to hit Circle of Champions. And I say that because Angela Faulkner down east put her intention out there on January 2nd and said, I am going to hit Circle of Champion by the time conference starts. She hadn't really shared her business. She came on board just a bit before Christmas, was super busy, couldn't concentrate on her business. By the time her plane landed, she actually made Circle of Champions in the air before she landed to that conference. In a 3-week period, start to finish, like 0 volume, start to finish, Circle of Champions. So now what we have, so we know it's possible, 3 weeks on our team. And that's somebody who just said, you know what, I have to do this. I'm going to give it a try. And she made more money in that 3 weeks than she's ever made in a month in her life. And it was just a really, really cool story that she had. And it was so great to have her, as part of our Circle of Champions. But to everybody on this call, totally doable. We have a promo in front of us right now. It's 20% off everything. That doesn't happen a lot. I know we've been sort of, promo bedazzled or whatever you want to call us. There have been a lot of promos lately. This promo is enormous insofar as it preceded a promo that was the MVP reset, the All-Star reset. And for anyone on your team who is in MVP for their first 30-day period, if they hit it between now, and I think we have until February 28th actually to hit that one. If they hit it within their first 30-day period.
On Pulse.
Yeah, it's on your Prove It Pulse. If they hit that, and I just posted it on Team Proof. So if they hit that, they get double. So they get $1,000 for their fast start instead of $500 for just doing what we do. For just like bringing on a couple of promoters and 4 customers in a month. That's insane. And then if we hit All-Star, which is a little more challenging, but there's an All-Star reset. So for anyone who missed that, we get $1,000 between now and April 28th when we hit All-Star, and that's 5 MVPs on our team between going back to the 27th of January and April 28th. So insanely good money. All of us have an opportunity, even if you did or didn't hit your MVP, you can do it within this month from Jan 27th to February 28th, and you'll get $500. But the cool thing is, and this is why it's so necessary to hit that MVP, because there's money involved for the long term of your business. So when you hit MVP, normally you get 20% on your fast start bonuses. So new promoters coming in, 20% on level 1, 10%, 5% on level 2, 10% on level 3. When you hit MVP, you open up 3 levels. You get 20%, same thing on level 1, but on level 2, you now get 10%. And on level 3, you get 20% of fast starts, and you open up a level 4 of 5%. Hugely significant. You also get to take part in the MVP pool bonuses. So those, you can pick up an extra $100 or so a month out of that. But the point is, we all have an opportunity to reset our business starting today. This is enormous. We crammed, I think, close to 1,200 people into that conference. It was standing room only. There was overflow. The next conference will be sold out. It's in Orlando, Florida. If there's any...
We lost Miss Storms. So we're gonna circle back and talk about the conference and the promo. And I mean, the events are powerful,
Right.
because if you just hear Carol's story about her niece, like, that's life changing. This isn't about, selling product or about making a dollar, but that's if Carol hadn't been at that event. And this could be life-changing for her sister and her niece. That only happens at events. And that's why this is beyond all of the development and the connections that you meet. It's hearing people's stories that are going to help change your life and help you change others. So on that note, I want to pass it on to, let's start with Nat, if you want to lead us off and maybe share a little bit about Natalie Nidham from Toronto, COC, and had come to the event with us as well. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, or she's leaving. What are you doing there? Oh, why don't we go to Joanne?
Sorry, I'm not leaving. I'm just closing the door. Hold a second. Sorry.
Okay, so why don't you just share some takeaways and how that's impacted you, maybe impacted your business today or going forward?
For sure. Just hang on 1 second. I just need to close the door to my room. Hang on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Whoever's typing, if maybe you could mute.
That's Carol Storms because she's excited.
No, it's Carol because she said I was too loud, which I get. But I just have to close the door. 1 sec.
Joanne, why don't you lead us off? Joanne Roy, COC from Calgary, and then Nat can jump in.
Okay. Hi, guys. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Okay, Joanne, you can follow.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, well, like Janice and Carol just said, like, the conference was absolutely amazing. It was a series of inspirations of getting supercharged, hearing these unbelievable testimonials from people, and as I've said to a couple of people that I've spoken to about the business in the last couple of days, like, stories that are so incredible that you can't even share them because it would be irresponsible to share them until, all the due process and research has been done.
Well,
but when you meet these people and you look at them, like, I sat at dinner one night, I sat next to this girl, and, she was a pretty girl, but she was still, I would say of Rubenesque kind of proportions. And she's from deep, deep down Mississippi. And I had the hardest time understanding her. I couldn't, I kept having to ask her to repeat herself. And when she told me her story, guys, it was almost as powerful as Bonnie's, who I think that story from Bonnie, they will eventually create a video of that and put it on the Prove It corporate page. But these people, like, it's like a person locked inside a body. And this is about, this is a sore point for me, right? Because I keep saying, well, it's not a weight loss product. It's not a fat loss product. And then you meet these people and, oh my God, their lives have absolutely been transformed. And when you talk to them, what you realize, it's not just that they lost fat. It's that somehow it helped them psychologically. It helped their brain. It helped them overcome hurdles. It helped them to feel better, which is what enabled them to experience the fat loss. So that for me, that repetition, in addition to all the heavy science, was massive, right? But one of the big takeaways professionally that I took away from this is this whole, something that Janice mentioned earlier, is, well, there's two things. One is, how can I be of service to you, my team? And that is a really big thing. Like, I've struggled with a couple of promoters over the last little while, and I think everybody sees this. Like, we get promoters on board, they're all fired up, and then life gets in the way. Like, who knows why, right? They kind of vanish, and yet they're still there. And I have found that you can still engage these guys and you can still work with them, but you have to be willing to put yourself in a position of service to them. So, and it falls under the whatever it takes banner, right? So on the one hand, you don't want to spend too much time with people who aren't willing to participate. But on the other hand, be willing to meet people where they are. And if they're willing to contribute to your business, then do whatever it takes to work with them. So that was one. And then the second one, which probably was even more powerful than that for me, was learning to use the resources on the site. Learning to point people to the movie. Don't try to do all the work yourself, because you're just you won't succeed for the most part. Because you know what, that little video they made, I'll bet you they spent thousands on that thing, just getting it right, getting all the information in there in a format that people could understand and connect with. So first step is really sharing that the Experience Keto video with anybody that you're opening this conversation with. Then making sure that people know that there's resources on the website, that there's the support, not support, but the Ask a Specialist resources and the Prove It corporate page. So just knowing, like, take the time to become familiar with your resources. Take the time to help your promoters become familiar with those resources so that they too can use them.
Okay, awesome.
So that's it.
Great recap. There was one of the huddle ups, Michael Rutherford, for the record, I don't think sleeps. I left him in the hallway with the huddle up at about 1:30 in the morning. And then I just said, okay, I'm out, and because I was getting so much information. When Tanya and Peter got up at 4:30 to go to the airport, he was still in meetings in the same spot. But one of the things he said was, to your point, Nat, about somebody new coming on, don't say, hey, if you need my help, I'm here. If you want them to be proactive, then show them proactive. You know, like, rather than run, everyone has to run a 400-yard dash or 400-yard relay. You could do it all 400 yourself, or you can do 100 by 100 by 100. You do 100, I do 100. So great takeaways. So Joanne, maybe we could pass it on, and not to want to cut you short, but if you could maybe keep it under 2 minutes, so that we can love to hear from Anne and Jody and still respect everybody's time.
Sure. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Oh my goodness, it was really a fabulous conference. And if I can take away one huge thing from that, is you have to get your team there, because it's going to change their lives. Because the guy that came down with me is not the same guy that came home. He has been on the phone talking to our people all day long. And last night while I was out at networking, so it's really good. I feel like I have an amazing partner here. But the other thing was, the science is so strong here that Tony Freeman came out and he talked about, well, if this stuff works, I'm in. And it works. It was so amazing. And we have third-party validation now for Max. There's nothing like it. It's just the best, and it tests out. So that was very exciting for me. And then it was just like, we have something so special. And as you just heard, it's changing people's lives. So it's up to us to never stop changing the world. Just go out and do it. And I tell you, I got off the plane. I roared right into a meeting last night. Holy come, those people were just unbelievable. They couldn't believe me. And then I did another one this morning. And by the time I don't know, I got a whole bunch of leads. And then I said, and by the way, I just want you to know that I'm off to the Mercedes dealership to get my car. And they went, what?
Love it.
Wow. So I had some good points. So lots of enthusiasm, but it's not just silly rah-rah stuff. It's all based on all the good stuff that came through and the amazing people that Brian put together. I was blown away by all of them. And plus, you know what? They were all his friends from years. These amazing people. They weren't just someone he just knew somewhere. So that's it. I'm done. Make sure you're at the next event, guys. It's awesome.
I was on mute, sorry. Thank you for those, great takeaway, and thanks for being concise. Let's pass it on to Jody. What was your first conference? This was your first epic event.
Oh my God. Well, you guys covered all of it. Very inspirational for me. Again, like Mom said, not a lot of rah-rah. Well, I mean, there was, but a lot of meat and potatoes, like the speakers that they got. There's just a lot of really great tips in terms of fear and how to just take that on. I definitely have some of that. I know it holds me back, which because of just the little tidbit I got from Joseph McClellan, I'm going to go to the MORE event and the Keto Academy. And it'll be great to learn some of the science as well. But the testimonies, those were amazing. Like, they were nothing short of miracles, I thought. And I know we can't say they treat or cure anything, but I have been sharing those stories already because I think they're super powerful, and the research is out there, so they can look at that. Just some in terms of how to work the business, like keep it simple, have them watch the video, connect them with the tools, make sure to follow up with a 3-way call. Stuff we know, but we really need to implement that and then duplicate that with people. So lots more to say, but you guys covered it all. So like I said, I'm already going to the other 2 conferences or the other 2 events and bringing some people with me. So
that's awesome. I just want to add one other thing. So Jody, what was the note that you showed me like Sunday? This is how powerful this event and how exciting it was for you. What did you do on Sunday?
Oh, well, here the afternoon was creeping on, and they kept bringing all these amazing people. Like, this is what I live for, these motivational, inspiring people, like people like that work with Tony Robbins and stuff, right? So I thought, I'm looking at my watch, I'm thinking, oh crap, I have to, leave about 4 to get my plane. I thought, I can't do this. So, I mean, fortunately I am, standby again. It's not like I'm losing hundreds doing this, but I made a decision to cancel that and stay an extra night. Plus, I'm so glad I did, because it's nice to recap with the team. Everybody had their takeaways, bond, discuss everything. And I felt if I left early, I would have really torn myself away from everything I was experiencing. It was just amazing. So I'm very glad I stayed. And also that I decided to still come because my flight was actually canceled on Thursday. Couldn't get out.
That's right.
Yeah. And I actually did feel deflated. I honestly wasn't going to come. It was 4 a.m. the next morning where I made the decision. I'm like, don't be defeated, which is part of what I learned at the conference. Don't let these little setbacks stop you. You have to just push through them. And I didn't want to set a bad example for my team of you let one little setback hold you back. I didn't want to be as I said, weenie, right?
Yeah, love it. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you stayed and we all got to get to know you a little bit better and bond and have a nice meal.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Anne.
Hi.
Hello, Anne Painter from Toronto, everybody.
Hi, guys. Jody, I'm glad you weren't a wiener because I had a blast getting to know you. You have an amazing energy, and I have to say, I think that was one of the biggest takeaways I had was the opportunity to meet other people. I've heard them say many times, well, we just want everyone to get to know everyone because we're one big family. And I'm thinking, okay, but I really, really want to focus more on the team. Jody, you're not direct like my team, but you're Janice's team, which really makes you the same as everyone else that was at that conference. What I loved about it too is I could go up to absolutely anyone and they're willing to help. A lot of other network marketing companies I've belonged to before, they don't do that. And that's what Brian, as a leader, instills in everyone, that we are all there to help each other. Mm-hmm. And another gigantic takeaway for me, and it's kind of shifted everything today, it's not a business. If you change it up that you're not so concerned with the money, but it's a movement. It's a movement to educate people about what sugar is doing to our bodies. Today, I have to tell you, I've made a doctor's appointment to go see the doctor and left a magazine there, and he tried a couple of days worth of the product. Tomorrow, I'm making a chiro appointment. I've gone into Nespresso today to get coffee, ended up talking woman to woman, found something she related to, all about healthy eating in her home country. Next thing you know, I've got her email address and she's interested in the business because she wants to help women. Right? I got a hold of everyone that I had talked to before, had product before that's either dropped off or not. I've touched base with absolutely everyone since I've come back. And I'm 100% motivated because the events do that. They motivate you. Another thing that it did, and that's unique about this particular company, is they do more than bring in motivational speakers. Am I right, people?
Yeah.
They bring in people that actually help us heal. What I learned, we had a group walk in nature with Mitch Newman, and he made us confront our past. He helped us to embrace the things that make us who we are today. And there was not one person out of that group of 200 that thought they had a great upbringing, that didn't have something that they were fearful for, that was holding them back. And he gave us a tool. You talk about tools for the business. They're giving us tools to get out of our own way, if that makes sense. And so far for me, it's working today. I didn't even catch all my old
Well
TV.
done. That was, yeah, we all got Academy Awards for that, for that release. Anne touched on the magazine. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it, but this, can you guys see this okay? Is that good angle? It's called Hacked. And this is, I don't know, I think everyone that was there took some home. Get a chance, reach out to someone on your team if in your area has one, or just go online and order them. They're 20% off right now today. This is a powerful tool. They're beautiful. It's not fluff stuff. It's not just a marketing campaign for Prove It. Like, the articles are informative, and there's something for everybody. And Natalie Kilborn did a great job on just explaining how to use this as a tool. So you want to put like a nice little contact information sticker in there. And as Anne said, like, leave it at the doctor's office, because guess what happens? If you're talking to somebody, Carol, why don't you talk about this, Carol? Because you did it on the plane. If you've got someone that has a specific thing about weight loss, then it's like, hey, you should check out page 43. Great article. And this, rather than you going and talking to one person at a time, you leave this as a doctor's office, or you've got 30 of them at different offices around the city, or at the gym. You've got 30 people working your business for you. You can get a sticker made that says, want more information, call or text or go to this website. So Carol, you use this tool. That was the big takeaway. Don't be a tool, use the tools. Whether it's the video, magazine, or a three-way call. You did that on the plane.
I did. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On the plane, I actually, I had a middle seat free. So I put it down on the middle seat and I put my handbag underneath. And then after the plane was taking off, I was sitting next to this woman and I took a picture of the front page. And I said, oh, excuse me, I just have to take a picture of this fabulous magazine because I'm going to post it on Facebook. And she said, what is it? And I said, oh my gosh, just about the most incredible product on the planet. And it burns fat, because I saw that she needed to lose a bit of weight. So I kind of honed in on what I thought might be interested. She said, you have my attention. And I said, yeah, it's just really unbelievable. There are really brilliant people who are testimonials to this product and who have invented this product, who support this product. They're all in that magazine. I just came from a conference and I heard the guy, the doctor who headed up NASA. There are some pretty brilliant minds, but all I know is I drink this powder. My husband's lost over 100 pounds. Like, this is crazy. And she starts. She's like, oh, my sister-in-law's overweight, and my friend who I work with, my coworker, just had her stomach stapled, and it went on and on. So she's like, how much is it? So anyway, we exchanged information, and she's going to order some. So hopefully before midnight, because I said, do it quickly because there's a promo on. It was the easiest thing in the world just to segue. And one of the things too, because these cost us some money, they're like about $4 each for us, US dollars. And one of the things is you don't have to give them to people. You can just use them. You can lend them to people and just say, I'll leave you this for a couple of days just so you get better insights, and flip through it and see what resonates with you. And then, as Janice said, direct them to something and then say, when can I collect it? Why don't we get together for a coffee and I'll go pick it up from you? And then that leaves you the opportunity to just sort of open it up and have that conversation. So it's another tool that we have that does the talking for us. And the company's just getting better and better and better on these things. But we have traditionally just been on iCloud online. This is our first tangible hard copy kind of deal. So many of us bought 10 or 20 of them for our business. Some people bought more. But I think if you started out even with just 10 of them, for your business, it would be enough to get you going if you want to just lend them out. So that's my takeaway. We don't have to spend a ton of money on these things, but just get a few of them and use them, and click some things, post some things from it if you want.
Yeah.
Up to you. It has legs, this little better.
Awesome. So we've been going quite a long time. So just maybe we'll take another 3 minutes, just recap a couple of things. The promo is going on right now. It's the 20% off. If you got, there's a lot of shows coming up. People are doing their own little individual women's shows and regionalized. So great opportunity to stock up on any of your products. And if you've got any customers that are sitting on the fence. And the biggest, remember, the 20% is also for the MORE event. It's the for Keto Academy and MORE. And I think the date, correct me if I'm wrong, it's around just March 27th, 28th, 2-day Keto Academy in the same location, which will lead into the MORE event. Joseph McLennan's going to be there. Patrick Sweeney's going to be there. Derek Anderson's going to be there. And I don't know if who else. Though those people are enough. Like, it's just going to be such a phenomenal event on top of all of the doctors. And we're just going to, as Carol said, I loved what you wrote today on someone's Facebook page. It was like, what's the difference with MORE and Epic? And this is just more of Epic. It's more of better. You're going to leave these inspired and lit up, and it's not just like a motivational high that's here because you're going to crash from that, but really great tools to, you heard everyone share, transform your lives, transform your business, help you be better across the board. And 20% off those as well today. So Carol, do you want to add anything to wrap up? Mute again. Unmute. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm here. Just quickly, 2 things to wrap up. One thing, work the heck out of this promo. These 20% don't come along very often. I know it seems like they may, but they really don't. And they're going to springboard us in. There's a lot of money associated with this. So it'll springboard us into our MVPs, our all-stars. So it's really, really worth it to reach out, just splash, call people, text people, there's still a lot of time left. We have till midnight CT to get this one in. So that to me is really, really key. And the other thing is, don't even hesitate. If you're kind of thinking, I might be able to do it to get to MORE, get to MORE. Just get your ticket. This will sell out. And so I'm just super excited about it. You know what? If you have points, your flight is half the battle, because we put 5 of us in a room this time. It was like this big pajama party, and Nat didn't have any sisters, so it was traumatic for her, but you got over it, Nat, right? So I'm just, I'm saying that, you know what, it was just a ton of fun, and we'd love to have as many people there possible, because the more we get, the more enjoyable it is for all of us, and the more that they can take it back to their team as well. So MORE is the word of the day.
Yeah.
More sharing, more people taking advantage of the 20% off, and get your MORE tickets in the discounted price, because it's if you're in this business, if you're a customer, that's fine, you're a customer. If you're a dabbler, you're a dabbler. If you're in this business, you need to get to the conferences, because they really, it's your business, it's your company. So if you didn't make it to the first one, please do what you can to get to the MORE conference. It's a game changer. Plus, it's tons of fun, and we're really fun to hang out with, I promise. Sort of.
Well, there's so many different personality types. You can find one that you want, that you can hang out with. It's like, okay, I've had enough of that personality. I'm going to this personality. So, I mean, just imagine, I said this on Facebook today. Imagine, fast forward, if the energy and the takeaways that you hear from everybody tonight that shared, if they were all on your team, how your business would transform, what that would mean. And if you've got someone that is on the fence or considering it, then get them on a 3-way call. Get them on a 3-way call with me or Carol or Joanne or Nat or Jody or Ann or anyone that's been there. Let them explain it. Let them see, let them hear what's in it for them, and we'll work together to get them there. So I think on that note, I'm going to stop recording. We can stick around for a few minutes and answer any questions, but we're going to have that recap. A wrap.